The objective for this lesson is 2.3. I can write two-step equations. So we're going to be writing the equations from story problems or just from sentences. And so first we're going to make a list of keywords that will tell us if we're adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing. So I'm going to make a chart with 4 boxes. 1, 2, 3. That should probably be enough. Actually, I'm going to make 5 boxes. So I'm going to make these 4. Whoops. And then another box at the bottom. So I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes, and I'm going to put add, subtract, multiply, and divide. I'm going to put equals down here. We're just going to list some keywords that will tell us if we're adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing, or if we should put an equal sign. So some of them that I came up with for adding would be total, in all, sum, plus, more. Keywords that tell us we're subtracting would be like minus, take away, difference. One you'll see a lot is less than, and less than is a special one that has a special rule that goes with it. For multiplication, if you see the word of, that means multiply. Product means we multiply. Times means we multiply. For divide, let's see. Sometimes it says split equally. Quotient means we divide. And then keywords that tell us we're going to put an equal sign would be is, or are. Makes sometimes the same. Those would all be clue words. We're going to put an equal sign. These aren't the only keywords that will tell you if that we're adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing, but this is a good enough list that can be used to help us write some equations. So we're going to write some equations. We're not going to do story problems in the video. We'll do those in class. We'll just do sentences in the video. So for example 1, it's going to be the equation is, or the sentence is 4 more than twice a number is 8. So we're going to just translate this into an equation, and I like to mark up the sentence and say what each part of it means. So we have our numbers here. We have 4 is one of our numbers, 8 is another number, and then our other keywords that tell us what we're going to do is we have more. More tells us I'm going to be adding. Twice, we didn't talk about twice before, but twice means we're going to be multiplying by 2, and is where our equal sign will go. So 4 more than twice a number would be 4 plus 2 times some number. I don't know what my number is. This is my variable right here, the number. 4 more than twice the number is 8, so equals 8. We're not going to practice solving them right now. We've practiced that before. We're just going to work on writing the equations. For example 2, let's do 7 more than the quotient of a number and 2 is 10. So I'm going to start by marking it up again. Here are all my numbers. 7, 2, and 10 are my numbers. And then more tells me I'm going to be adding, so I'm going to put a plus by it. Quotient tells me I'm going to be dividing. And is my equal sign. So if I turn this into an equation, it would be 7 more than the quotient of a number. So this is my variable right here. The number is the variable. I'm going to use an x this time. When you have a quotient of a number in 2, it's going to be x divided by 2 is equals, and then 10. You could use the division symbol. I like to use the line instead. Okay, let's do this one. This one is for number 3. Let's do 4 less than the quotient of a number, and 3 is -10. So I'm going to mark it up again. First I'll look at all my numbers. 4 is one of the numbers, 3 and -10 are my numbers. I don't know why I chose to write some out and write some as number symbols. And then I'll look at my keywords that tell me if I'm adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing. Whoops, you can't see. Less than means I'm subtracting, but less than is a special one. So I'm going to come back to that in a minute. Quotient means I'm dividing, and this is where my equal sign will go. So what's special about less than ones is less than is always backwards. So I'm going to write that here. I'm also going to write that here on my chart. Less than is always backwards. So instead of doing 4 minus x divided by 3, because my variable is going to be right here. This is my variable. Let's do n. Instead of doing 4 minus n divided by 3, it's going to be n divided by 3 minus 4. Less than ones are always backwards. So it would be 4, nope, I already messed up. It would be n divided by 3, the quotient of n divided by 3 minus 4 equals -10. The reason it's backwards is if you think about 4 less than 10. 4 less than 10 is 6, right? So 4 less than 10 is 10 minus 4. 4 less than 12 is 8, so it's 12 minus 4. So 4 less than the quotient is the quotient minus 4. We'll talk about that more in class too. Let's do one more. The difference between twice the number and 11 is -23. The difference between twice a number and 11 is -23. So I'm going to start by marking everything. Twice is kind of a double thing, because twice tells me the number, I'm going to be using a 2, but it also tells me it's multiplication, and I have 11 and I have a -23. Difference tells me I'm subtracting. Twice tells me I'm multiplying. And then this number right here is my unknown, or my variable. So I'm going to, I'm going to use a x. It doesn't matter. And then is my equal sign again. So difference means subtract. This one is not backwards, so I have twice a number minus 11 equals -23.